Thanks for staying with us. We are about to delve into a very interesting conversation, and it's quite ironic because this morning I was talking about how user experience has become very easy and accessible to everyone when it comes to, the ease of doing business, of running businesses in Nigeria. We have with us Emmanuel Agbo as a product and user experience designer. His interest lies in how people experience digital products and how they use them every day. His approach combines design, behavioral science, and accessibility to figure out what actually works for real people. How are you doing this morning, Emmanuel?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me this morning.
All
How are
right,
you doing?
great. UX design, product UX design is actually not a term that most of us are very familiar with. So kindly, just briefly, explain to us what it means to be a product UX designer.
Okay, so UX design, as the name implies, it's all about creating products, especially digital products. It can be websites, it can be application or devices, so that are not only easy to use, but solves problems, user needs problems, products that are efficient for the people, for businesses, for organizations. So it's about understanding how users think, how they behave and interact with technology. So at its core, UX design focuses on making sure that people can navigate through different products without being confused, overwhelmed, or frustrated about the product. So the main purpose or the main target of user experience design is to make sure that the system and the products you are putting out there for the users actually meets their needs and it attends to user needs and user goals.
Okay. Um, I mean, we've seen quite a number of products, digital products spring up, lately. And in terms of accessibility and the technicalities, they're quite not user friendly, right? Now, as a new user who's being introduced to this service, what's the easiest way to sort of reach out in terms of feedback to these products and letting them know that, okay, this is not easy? Because I mean, it also helps. It doesn't help if I'm not, if I'm not being able to have easy access to using your product or to getting the access to the product that I need.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So in terms of products, so there's what we call research and usability testing.
Okay.
So before we have a product out there, product needs to go through series of kind of phases. So there's what we call also design thinking process, which starts from empathize, which is the first phase of design thinking process, whereby you get to understand the problem, your users, their frustrations. You don't just design product based on assumption of what you think is good for the users. No, you get to talk to the users to understand what they actually need, to understand if the product you're putting out there is solving a problem that they actually need to be solved. So you make sure that your product is very easy and accessible based on user feedback. So during empathize phase, we use two different methods to kind of understand users. We use the qualitative and the quantitative research approach, which is very, very vital. So the quantitative is all about gathering data using surveys and other medium. While the qualitative is when you dive deep into interviews, focus groups to understand user behaviors, pattern, and all that. So to make sure that your product is accessible and easy for users, you need to kind of interact with the real users, actual users. So you do not design based on assumption. So in user experience design, you must interact with users, you must find out user pain points, you must find out what they need, and you must make sure that the world and the technology atmosphere is ready for the products you're putting out there.
Let's talk about, I mean, we're in the advent of AI, and let's look at the role of AI and how it's being used and being incorporated into product and user experience design.
Yeah, AI. Yes, thank you for that question. The technology space is fueled a little bit AI conversation.
Right.
So in user experience design, AI plays a very huge role.
Right.
in helping designing and making products more user-friendly, whether it's through personalizing experiences, predicting user needs, or even simplifying tasks. So AI is becoming an essential tool to improve how we design products and ensure that user experience is top-notch. So for example, we all use the Google Map every day.
Right.
So the Google Map, it's not just about giving you or taking you from point A to point B in terms of direction. So it actually understands what's happening around you, like the traffic, the current traffic, the accidents, and even how you usually like to drive. So over time, it learns your habits and suggests routes that fit you better. Okay, that is AI in action. Yeah, it's not just following instruction, it's learning from you and making the whole experience smoother and personal. Just like another example, the Apple Watch we also use. So
Right.
Apple Watch dictates when you have abnormal heart rates. And it also tells you that you've sat down for too long, that you need to stand up for 30 minutes or 20 minutes and walk around. So that is AI in action, understanding patterns, understanding human behavior, making sure that it personalizes experience that fits into every user. So AI is really shaping the world. AI is shaping the design atmosphere, and AI is helping designers speed up their design process.
Fantastic. Now let's look at Nigeria, right, and how that space, that's industry, that is the UX design industry, how it is evolving. What do we expect to change, or what should we expect in the next couple of years when it comes to product and user experience design?
So in Nigerian business atmosphere, I would say it's good seeing that we are adopting a very good design system. So
Okay.
in the last few years, businesses don't just care about users. They don't care about the digital space. What they do is kind of build websites without going into user needs. So the business space currently is growing and they're adopting a very good UX design standard, which is
Okay.
very, very impressive and very, very good. So businesses are employing designers, not just designers, they're employing researchers to help them understand user needs, because user needs, when you meet user needs, you meet business expectations. So it's all about kind of having a KPI for your business, making sure that your user need aligns with business goals, and that way you meet the KPIs. And when you meet that KPI, you generate more returns, more revenues for your business, and you sell more products out there to the users.
It's interesting that you'd say that, because I am a business owner, and it's sometimes it can be difficult navigating through the business atmosphere here in Nigeria. And I remember I tried, using the services of a website designer sometime last year. And one of the challenges was the user experience wasn't seamless at all. And now I am in between, should I continue with the website or not? Also, other than accessibility, affordability, because when they hear product designers, everybody runs away because the money is quite a lot. So how can we make, because if we are, asking, if we're, encouraging business owners, to, employ the use of, product user experience design, how can you make it easier for businesses to be able to, use your services at an affordable rate?
So yeah, that's a very good question. I would say, guess what we say in UX design, we say it is more expensive to retain customers than to get new ones. So would you rather spend $2,000 on your digital platform and you don't meet the goals and your business fails, or you rather spend more in order to make sure you achieve the purpose of the goal? So before you go into business, you have targets, you have plans, you have audience. So all these things, it is the work of the designer to go into the market to research. So we do what we call competitors analysis. So the design work is not all about fixing shapes and colors. No, there are a lot that goes into design process. There's a lot that designers put, like sleepless nights, ideation, brainstorming, like a lot of iteration, usability testing, trying to make sure that businesses, they meet their goals. And the designers have been trying so hard to make sure that they help businesses grow, but some companies, obviously, they don't like paying designers very well. So the world is changing, and we need to adapt to the changes. Yeah, businesses need to understand that it's not about what you're trying to offer the designer. It's about the value of the market, what the designer is worth, and what is the expectation that you want for your business. So if you want to grow your business, if you want to kind of meet your expectation, if you want to reach a very wide audience, it requires that capital, it requires that strength, and it requires that very good designer to go into the market to understand this trend. So it's just like going to the hospital, like, or going to the pharmacy to buy a drug. You don't go pricing, telling them to reduce the price of medication. It's like a fixed price. So it's something that is very, very vital, both for you, for your health, and for your business.
Well, if you're looking at the order of priorities, I don't think a product user experience designer is on the top of that list of a lot of business owners in Nigeria. But thank you so much for bringing, this knowledge to the fore. And then I'm hoping, I know that there are a lot of young people watching right now who are interested and who, who would want to grow in this area of product design. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us this morning, Emmanuel. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you for having me as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. And on that note, we'll take a quick break. The show continues shortly, people. Stay with us.